Cozy, how you doing today?
What's up, dude? I am surviving. I've got a newborn, and I'm going off no sleep. But I'm here. I'm feeling it, and this has me pumped, man. I made a lot of videos this week, and this is always the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny you mentioned that because I'm always tired too. I mean, you'll get used to it as a father of kids as well. You're gonna get used to it, I promise. That's actually a lie. You never quite get used to it. But anyways, what you do start to do is you start to realize that the days are short. They get shorter and shorter and shorter. But we still always make time for Marvel Snap because it's such an absolutely fantastic game. And I gotta tell you, Cozy, you just said the thing that was right out of my heart. I was so excited to have this conversation today because this is the most fun I have making any video. The most fun I have. Like, I love all my other stuff too, but this conversation with you by far is the highlight of my week.
Oh, dude, and you get one of the fun, okay, if you guys saw last week, we did the Snap Draft. It seemed like you guys enjoyed it, and it's on Alex's channel this time. I'm already excited and also scared. Alex, what are we talking about on your channel today, bud?
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the importance of snapping because it's one of those things that I think a lot of new players are really sleeping on. Snapping is one of the most important skills in Marvel Snap, and we're going to be talking about it and how you can utilize it to good effectiveness, especially for those that are starting to enter Pool 3. We're also going to talk about the value of variants. I think it's something that a lot of people don't really talk about or consider because variants are more than just pretty cards. There might be a little more to them than you think. And then, of course, we're going to have our Snap Draft battle. And for those that had not seen that in last week's episode, you got to go to the previous episode on Cozy's channel. It is a blast. And, of course, you're going to see it here today as well. And for those that are new to the Snapchat, we're going to be having our second video on Cozy's channel. We're going to be discussing a few different things. And again, we talk about 3 topics on my channel, and we talk about 3 topics on Cozy's channel. Cozy, you want to give us the intro on what we're going to find this week on your channel?
Yeah, so we're talking about the worst cards. Often we talk about the best, but this time it's the worst. And dude, that was just fun conversation. And we both agreed on definitely one that we thought was horrid. And spoiler, you can see one there. And then we're going to talk about how to survive early Pool 3 hell. We know that you guys have just entered Pool 3, so what are some tips? And I actually loved that conversation. I think we really broke down some stuff that really helps out how to survive the early weeks into that. And then lastly, counter and tech cards and when to use them. How many do you put in your deck? And what are our personal favorites, Alex? So let's begin. Yeah, let's talk about the importance of snapping.
Yeah, snapping is super important in Marvel Snap. In fact, I would suggest that it is the greatest single most important skill in the game. It's one of those things that makes the game really unique. Being able to kind of double or increase the stakes at any given time and make it a player agency choice, I think is an incredible design. I think that the team at Second Dinner, they obviously played a ton of card games. They said, how can we make this unique? And I think snapping, even though it's obviously the name of the game itself, I think it's an incredible mechanic that I'm surprised no one thought of prior. Like, think about it, doubling the stakes of a match, it's incredible. It's a great idea. And I find myself always thinking about, should I snap now? If they snap, how do you respond? It adds a layer to the game that I think is unprecedented.
Yeah, I don't like the person I become sometimes, though, with it. It's like, it gives you so much power. I am a competitive person by heart, which is why I love Snap. Played a lot of sports growing up, and snapping, there's times where I don't even have a good hand, Alex. I don't even have a good hand, and they snap, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. You think I'm going to lose? And so I think bringing in the poker-esque feel into a game, in a card game, especially in the CCG, is such a unique idea, and it's what keeps me playing. Honestly, it's what keeps it fresh, what keeps me playing, and I know they're going to keep on adding to the mechanic. They've already talked about that, so 100% agree.
So funny you mentioned that because, all right, tell me if you've done this before. Have you ever snapped back on someone that snapped on you purely because of pride? Like, have you ever snapped back just because, oh, you're going to snap on me, snap back just because, you're just angry and you just want to snap back in their face and be like, all right, you sure, buddy? Like, let's go. It's like kind of like standing up to somebody, like straightening your back, pumping out your chest, be like, you want to go, man?
All the time, especially on the turn 1, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? Fine.
Yeah, turn 1.
Fine, let's do it. And guys, you know the rules, okay? Ego, you've got to snap. That's the main, auto snap. But yes, that happens all the time, bud.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, let's actually take a second to actually talk seriously about snapping. I mean, even though it's like obviously hilarious, but there's also some things I think a lot of new players may not realize about snapping and how it actually influences the design of the game. Like for instance, a lot of players kind of talk about in the ranked matchmaking system how there's no floors, right? Once you get to like say rank 50, you can drop all the way back down to rank 41. There's a lot of games that have rank floors, right? But with snap, because you can snap at any time, in order to like maintain the integrity of the snap, there can't be ranked floors, because if you're at a floor, you can just turn one snap every single time, and like snapping means nothing, right?
Right.
And I think that having that stake rise always be a nerve-wracking experience actually makes the game better.
Yeah, I mean that's such a great point, and one that I guess isn't really often talked about, right? Like I would snap every game. I mean, why would you not? It'd be like playing poker and you have monopoly money, but then you win real money, right? So it's like, what would be the stake? You have to have stakes. Everything's better with stakes, in my opinion. But yeah, with snapping, I think the most unique mechanic about it is you can make a game less or more interesting depending on your confidence level and kind of what we just talked about with the pride. And I love that. I think that, instead of having the same trajectory of a game like this, you can have games like this, down, up, and then you mix that. Because if it was Hearthstone length, it just snapping wouldn't be as much of a. It would be cool, but like, all right, let's play 10 minutes, right? This is so quick, and I think that's what adds to the mechanic, in my opinion.
Oh, imagine playing a 10-minute Hearthstone game. In my experience, every Hearthstone game is a guy roping every single turn, and it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine playing a 20-minute Hearthstone game where a guy ropes you every turn, then snaps and beats you at the end, and you lose 8 ranks? That's how you uninstall a game and never play it again. So maybe increasing the stakes like that. Maybe it's okay with Marvel Snap, because I don't know about you. Sometimes I lose like my cube. I snap like an idiot all the time, so I'll lose like 8 cubes. And for me, it's like, I'll just go next. Like, I'm not too upset about it. I mean, I'm broken inside, but I don't show it. But actually, let's take a second to give a couple tips. We should each give at least a legitimate tip about snapping. Do you not think so? And we're kind of joking about like the fun of it, because it really does add so much to the game. But here's a tip for you, okay? When you're snapping, one thing you really want to pay attention to is your hand. A lot of players may not realize. They think, oh, do I have board advantage? And that's one way you can snap on someone. But the other way is, if you look at your hand, you say, okay, hold on. I have my combo pieces. I have the pieces I need to win this game. I can reliably execute on my plan, my strategy that maximizes my opportunity to win the game. This is when you snap. And so I think that, you shouldn't just use snaps as like reaction pieces. Like, you shouldn't just snap on a guy because he made a bad play, or you can do that too anyway, just to tilt him out. But you should also be very proactive and look at your hand and determine when the best time to snap is. And note that that's going to change based on your deck, because different decks have different draws, have different synergies, and therefore you need to be very cognizant of what you have and if you can maximize that snap.
Yeah, my 3 favorite tips, quickly to go through them with snapping. And that was a great point. I think that's a very important one that will go into my first tip, is not snapping soon enough. When you have the combo pieces you need and you're looking at the deck and they're probably not going to have that counter and you have initiative, like, you got to start snapping at turn 4, 5, going into 6 to at least get the 2 cubes and potentially the 4. And then to the counter side of that, also on turn 6, guys, there's times where you are just stomping. You're stomping. You're going to win. You're going to win. You're like, you've done the math. You're not going to lose. Sometimes you don't want to snap. Honestly, sometimes you don't. You're just going to retreat. You're going to only get the 1 cube instead of the 2. And so sometimes it's best, if you know you're going to win and your opponent knows you're going to win, don't snap, right? And so those would be the main one. And then this is my special tip, Alex. This is I got some reactions to this before.
Like, top secret tip here.
Top secret. Turn 6, I've learned that if you take your time, and it's not that much time in between turns. You're not making them wait too long. But on turn 6, if you sit there and you wait, sometimes they think you don't have a play. They're like, this guy's overthinking, and they'll snap on you. So if you're ever trying to get them to snap, sometimes just chill out. And I know I'm not encouraging you guys to troll, but just wait a little bit, maybe halfway, and then see if they snap. And it works, man. Not all the time, but it's a little secret tip. But have you heard of that before?
No, I've never heard that, but I love it. I'll tell you why. Because so many times, so I watch every one of your videos, obviously, and you so often talk about the mind games of the game. You are a master of like mind manipulation in Marvel Snap.
Oh, it's my favorite
You
part.
literally talked up vision simply so that you can like play mind games with someone whether you move them or not. Now, like stuff like that. Now you're talking about like snap meta, like waiting. Oh my god, it's so good. It's just so good. Like I love how you kind of really approach the game from like that mental, like I'm gonna play games with this guy's mind.
It's about playing the person. You know, you don't have to be good at poker. You just have to be good at playing the person, reading people, and that's you know, that's what I don't know.
Maybe we should wear sunglasses while we're playing Marvel Snap. Maybe it'll make us better.
Dude, indoors. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. At least we'd look cooler. Maybe. Awesome, dude. Well, those are good tips. I like those. I think that's gonna help out, you know, people with snapping tips in general. Do you have anything else to add before we move on to our next subject?
I'm ready to move on to the next subject because I know it's a great part. Like it's something that you're really passionate about because I don't know anybody who is willing to throw gold at variants like you are.
You know, I feel called out. I do, but I also, it's who I am. This was my problem. I was like, and I understand it. It's even like a running joke on the Reddit. People hate the pixel variants. Okay, I get it. I like them for the most part. I like them, and so I told myself, like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a lot of them, right? And now,
wouldn't it be cool to spend a lot of money on pixel variants?
Yeah, I've slowed down, right? And I swear the game knows too. Like I'm like, I'm not getting anything today, and then it'll like push my favorite card in a pixel. I'm like, all right, it's done. No dinner for me tonight, but I'm getting this pixel. But yes, as far as like card art and stuff, I also listen. I think that the first point I want to bring up about variants and the value of them is right now, it's the only way for the most part to support the game. And I don't mind, right? I don't mind. It's something that I want to add to my collection. It's something that I like. And it's something that I deem somewhat okay. And of course, you want to spend within your means. What are your opinions on the variants in general, the value of them? When you buy them, I'm kind of curious too. I don't know how many you have.
So basically, there's a couple things. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this was because I think that people often like really undersell the value of what variants are. Now, if you're going to talk about a technical value, when you get a variant, you can, you know, upgrade that card again. You get the collection level at half off. You get to, you know, get that to infinity. Then you get the other collection level half off. Like you get to advance a little bit with it as well, right? Which is good. But I think that like there are things about variants that I really like. Like there's expressive parts of it too. Like you see a variant that like you just connect with a bit, you just really like. Why not spend some money on it, get it, and add some spice to your deck? As you start to build larger and larger collections, you might be able to get themes of different variants that you can build together in decks. And I don't know, is it crazy to suggest that it's like a form of self-expression?
No, yeah, for sure. Especially the more they expand on them. Like I know people love the Venom ones, right? Like to just rep that and have all Venoms, like it's really cool. I think it'll be even better when you can express more in matches. Like right now, you can do like the emotes that nobody uses, or like the little emojicons, or you can use emotes. And it'd be cool if, you know, I don't know, if there's more ways to express that. But yeah, I agree, man. I think this is what's terrible though. I'll get this one, right? Because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be my Omega Red. I don't know about you guys, but I'll be like, I want a variant that represents something that I like. This is the one I'm gonna upgrade. But then I see this one. I'm like, oh, this is anime. This is kind of cool. I'm gonna buy this one. This is the one I'm gonna get. And then they throw this one. It's pixel, Alex. I have to get. That's the That's where they get me the worst. Is when I get multiple of the same one. But again, I want to express myself in all three ways, and it's a testament to the art, because I can confidently tell you that I have not seen a game with better art, dude. This art is
for sure.
It's jaw dropping, man.
Yeah, bring up the Spider-Woman Venom variant. You must have it.
I have Venom. I have Typhoid and
that is a crazy one too.
Check this one out, dude. Isn't that insane? And then
that's awesome.
Where's our Spider Lady? The Carnage one.
How good is this one? It's one of my favorite in the game.
In comparison, yeah, I'm like, this is a no-brainer.
I put Spider-Woman in decks sometimes where she's suboptimal just because I want to see this variant.
Dude, and this one. Have you seen this arrow? Like,
I've never seen that one before. That's an immediate buy. That looks like a 1200 gold variant.
Straight out of Final Fantasy. Oh, that was a 1200. That was definitely like I'm sucking on some napkins for dinner. Oh yeah, no question, dude. No question. Yeah, I could just go through and just show some of my favorites.
It's so good. But the one last thing I want to mention, what do you think of this? I don't know if this is the case, but there's no way to actually sort. Oh, that's so good too. Ironically, Captain Marvel has one of the best like OG variants. Like not OG variants, the OG art is pretty solid on Captain Marvel, but that is unbelievable. That is so good. I'd like to be able to like organize my collection based on the artist.
Yeah,
and
I see that.
Does that seem like a good idea?
I see that said. It's probably one of the most like asked for features. Just like I think eventually like creator codes would be really cool for creators. I think that there's two things I want to talk about with you. Is number one, no question about it. They should just throw it right here, man. Just put who made the card, put who made the art. I follow them on Twitter. Combo Break, there's a couple on there for you guys. I can try to comment it if I remember. But like, these artists are so talented, and they need to be shouted out because art, guys, it all comes from credibility. And I want these artists to get their credibility and get more notice because of this incredible design that they're doing. But at the same time, you know, maybe they get, I don't know, 1% of variance, you know, from the art that they did. Probably won't happen just because the game doesn't get enough money as it is. But that would be really cool down the line, I think.
That is a great idea. The idea of like getting like a commission for like selling art that you're producing in the game. I mean, obviously we have absolutely no say in that. Like, we don't know. It could work like that right now for all we know, right? I think it's an amazing idea because like if this game does anything right, it's the gameplay, obviously. It's the art too. Like that is the first thing that people notice when like I've introduced a lot of people to Marvel Snap, and the first thing they say is, "Wow, this looks good." When they upgrade a card for the first time, they're like, "Wow, you know, like the epic and like it's such a good looking game." I think you gotta lean into it.
Yeah,
gotta lean into it. And one last thing I'll mention too is, Cozy, what do you think of the idea of like them including like maybe variants for like the actual backdrops, like the actual game board itself? I mean, that seems like a
that seems like a that seems like that's got to happen. I think when they come out with the PC, the PC widescreen, I think it's going to shake some things up on how it looks. Like they need to add it doesn't have to be a tracker, but like a history, right? Like, God, if I get Sokovia one more time and I look down, look up, and I don't know what, like they have to add that. So I think we're going to get an update to the game board. That I think. When it released was the most shock to me, like, oh, it stayed the same, like, you know, since beta. Dude, that would be sweet, right? I think on Reddit I saw like a comic style, and people have already come up with some cool styles that could be in the game board. That's a great idea, man.
Yeah, and actually that would spice up the season pass too quite a bit. Like, I think it'd be hard for like an individual artist that's drawing a card to do maybe the backdrop, now that I'm thinking about it. But like that seems like more like a dev team style thing.
Probably.
But I definitely think like they would be amazing.
Or
be
emotes.
An amazing feature in the game.
Yeah, emotes.
Emotes,
yeah. Emotes are a no-brainer, man. Like, where the heck is my laughing? Like, there's just so many iconic already Marvel memes that you could just add into the game, or have them, you know, make Captain Marvel expressive, and this artist does that as well. So, without question, I love the subject.
Yeah. And last point I want to make on the value variance. I had this idea. So in Dota 2, because that's where I originally came, you can buy special items called Immortals. And basically what they do is they take like a skill and they completely change it visually. So what if there were cards or variants that, like, say you have like, who's the one? I think it's Abomination that like has a great example of coming down, like smashes the board, right? What if like if you have a specific variant, the animation of him coming down like hits harder and like makes sparkles come up, and like it actually changes the card animation a little bit too. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Super cool. I thought I found that with Vision, but it turns out that I think it's for all, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but with Vision, he actually has two. He has two animations. So he has one where like you pull him out and it's the one you've seen, like with the beam. But then also, once he's already played, if you pick him up, you can hover him over cars and it's like a see-through effect, like he's going through the wall. So he has two different ones, and I thought it was because of this variant, but I think it's just for all Vision. It might just be this one. I don't play with any other ones. But dude, I agree, man. That is such an easy skin purchase to that wouldn't add any, you know, additional advantage. And I think their cosmetic, because the art's so good, their cosmetic options are endless, man, and opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. But are we ready to do a snap draft battle or what, buddy?
Oh, guys. Okay, we're going to meet you on over at the snap draft. And guys, buckle up.
All right, guys, and welcome back. We have ourselves the snap draft-anator. And what we're going to do here is Cozy and I, we're going to draft a deck. It's probably going to be terrible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it into a live match and we're going to pilot it to a sure victory. Cozy, I am going to defer to you for first pick.
Ooh, I like it. And I do remember that those that listen to audio only, I'll try to read all the picks out so that you guys have an understanding of what's going on. I like it. We did awesome last week, dude. We created a deck that was pretty solid. If I've learned anything, it's to just cross your fingers for synergy down the line. So first picks, dude, I actually didn't get any good picks last time, or like not a lot. I love my first options. We have Domino for the reliable 2-drop. Rogue, which we just talked about on my channel a ton as a tech card, and White Tiger. It's a tough one. For me, it's between Rogue and White Tiger, depending on the deck that we want to build into. I think White Tiger has a lot of different value into building into control and into an on reveal. But we just talked about not adding tech cards, and it's important to have it. So I'm actually going to go rogue. But what would you go with?
It's funny. In a draft like this, I'd probably take the safe domino pick.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say in a draft, if it was going against another drafter, I would do domino probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you take domino for sure, I think. But I think you're correct. Realistically, I think rogue is the spicy play here.
All right. So we had domino, rogue, and white tiger. Now it's your turn, buddy. What do you like?
All right, we've got ourselves claw, we've got lizard, and we have who I think is the correct pick, scorpion. How do you not pick scorpion here? Like, I like lizard too. I don't think claw's in contention, but scorpion, how do you not pick scorpion here?
Yeah, so claw, like maybe if this was later, like pick 8, claw would be in contention. It's an obvious scorpion. I like lizard a ton, dude. I think
do too. I do like lizard
because with lizard you can counterplay with him pretty well. Like if you just like learn where to play him. But yeah, dude, it's scorpion. I think that's the obvious choice on this one. So two. Honestly, I already love the deck, dude. Love the deck.
Yeah, the other thing I'll mention about lizard is that a lot of players like they get lizard early on in pool 1 and they hate it because they're playing against zoo decks. Lizard gets better later where people don't run zoo decks and can't fill the board as easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he really does.
Dude, this is a fun pick right here. So we have Captain.
This is unbelievable. I can't believe you're this lucky.
Dude, this is awesome. We have Captain Marvel, Sandman, and Ultron. All three of these could have their own decks made. I'm going to eliminate Sandman out the gate just because I want to build a deck a little bit different than without him. You could surely play him. It's kind of tough. You know, Ultron honestly isn't the best play without Patriot. Like there's just better options. Yeah. If we don't get another 6 cost, it's a bummer, but it doesn't matter because Captain Marvel, man, love Captain Marvel. I love the option of like, where's my opponent gonna go? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go with Captain. What do you like?
I like it too. Higher, further, faster, all day long.
Yep, for sure. Love it. All right, let's go to the next.
Oh, we're gambling today.
Don't do it.
No, you don't want it? Oh, come on. If we pull armor though, you're gonna be so sad.
Okay, I would go Coccia, but if you want to shake hands with the devil, make it interesting for the content, we can do it.
There's no way. There's no way we can pick Destroyer in this draft mode. Like that would be absolutely disastrous.
Watch us
disastrous. I don't know that it's okay. I would suggest Okoye being the best play here. Also, Okoye happens to be really good with Captain Marvel because now she becomes a 5/7 that has the mobility. I think that's huge.
Yeah. So Okoye, Destroyer, Daredevil. We're gonna go with Okoye. I agree. I think they're fun. Daredevil's okay if there's Professor X, but there's not. Next up, we've got Deathlock. There's Hobgoblin for Destroyer if we would have picked him. And Mojo. Oh.
I'm so sad. We just had Daredevil. Daredevil Hobgoblin would have made this whole list so much easier.
Oh, for sure. Without question. And it's kind of weird. So we have 2 2-drops, a 3, and a 5. Dude, call me crazy. I like Mojo, man. I do like Mojo. Hob for the disruption's good, but like we already have our Captain Marvel for the 5 that we'll hope for. I think we can't go wrong with either of these. I would go Mojo here. What do you like?
I definitely like Mojo too. I don't think Deathlock works at all. And Hobgoblin, I'm of the opinion that Green Goblin's better.
Dude, this happened last time with Arrow and Kingpin. All right, we skipped the Daredevil. There's no way we could make that pick, right? And then, what does it give us? It gives us Hobgoblin followed by Professor X, the 2 just golden lock picks.
Yeah, we've got Professor X, we have Electro, and we have Lizard.
Now, Electro is actually one of my favorite cards in the game. I think ramped decks are just extremely fun. Because we can't control if we're going to have a ramp, and we have so many 2 costs at the moment, it's probably Lizard, man. Probably Lizard. Also, Destroyer would have worked with Professor X as well. So, yeah, it's got to be Lizard here.
It has to be Lizard here.
No question.
We're really heavy on the 2-drops. We got a bit of an aggro list going here.
Hopefully, we get
to
Sarah.
be honest with you, if Captain Marvel is our 6-drop, so to speak, it's not horrible. There's worse decks than this.
Oh
my God.
I feel pretty... Oh, dude, come on. Come on. Do it for me, Alex. Do it for me. What do you like?
We've got Morph, we've got Deathlock, and we've got Sandman. Oh, am I picking this one? I'm losing track.
You're picking this one.
I'm picking this one. So I could troll you extremely hard by entering Sandman.
With our 4/2 cost.
I know what you really want. You want to pick Deathlock.
How'd you know? Oh, man. Busted.
All right, pick the Morph.
Give me my Morph. Come on.
If anything, I just want to see the saxophone variant, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Yeah, dude, that's such a good... And you don't even need gold.
It might be the best one in the game.
Without question. All right, we're going with Morph. So if we get Sarah, I'm actually extremely happy with the deck. So far, it's gonna be a little tough. All right, so now we have Namor, Storm, and Hazmat. I mean, I think Storm's the obvious like best value here. But yeah, we could do Storm to Lizard to seal up a lane on turn 4, like because of all the 2-cost cards. I kind of like our options there. Or the the YOLO gamble with Morph. I like Storm here. Namor could make sense, but with Captain Marvel, I don't know.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's super anti-synergistic with Namor. I agree that Storm would be the shot here.
God, we got to get some high-cost cards, and we have to try to get something rolling synergy-wise. But that brings us to...
Ooh, nasty.
Well, he comes back, though. This is actually what I just said at the first pick. Who do we have?
We've got Doctor Strange, Claw, and Multiple Man. Talk about giving you only one actual choice.
I know. Claw's like, damn it, you didn't want to pick me round 1. You're gonna be forced to pick me. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. We gotta go Claw here.
If we don't pick Claw, I mean, we're gonna get Onslaught, I bet, coming up. So
that'd be cool. Put the Juju out there. Let's go Claw. Oh, okay. We've got Doc Ock, the Watcher, Alex's favorite card. And
my favorite card in the game. Every time I post a deck list with Uatu, I get massive heat. At this point, it's just I put it in there just for the YouTube comments
for the giggles. Yeah, Giganto is the last option. So Doc Ock can be a cool tech card. We already have 2 5s. Giganto, man. Here's the thing. This is actually becoming a really good deck, and one of my favorites, and one that I recommend for my pool 2, pool 3 decks is you play for the left lane. So we're going to control the right or the middle with Storm and flood that early, and then we play the Giganto Bomb at the end. I think that's going to be our seal. I think that's how we're going to win.
Pretty cool, yeah. It's a cool... you love control, and I think that's a really interesting approach to it. Again, mind games, right? No one expects Giganto.
No, but dude, nobody expects the Giganto. You have now a beautiful pull. I love what you have.
Choices here. So we have Thor, we have Brood, and we have Scarlet Witch. You know what? Obviously, Brood doesn't work here. I don't think Brood makes sense. However, both Thor and Scarlet Witch are super interesting choices. What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Again, God, this is like a kind of a Sarah deck in some ways. Scarlet Witch is like because Thor, like, you don't get the value unless you get the pull. But I wouldn't mind like a Storm to Thor. But Scarlet Witch is the safe play, in my opinion. But I could go. I don't fault you for either.
I'm willing to go Scarlet Witch. I do agree. I think that with this particular list, Thor is extremely risky.
All right, last pick. And we've got Drax, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Woman. Now this is interesting, right? Shang-Chi obviously is great. We already have a couple tech cards in a sense. Drax is just a hot pile of garbage. And then Spider-Woman could work out here, actually. Could definitely work out in this list here. What do you like? I'm tossed between the two. I'm not mad about either. I think Spider-Woman is probably... I don't know. Probably Shang-Chi.
It's probably Shang-Chi. If I want to troll you, I'm going to force you to take Drax. But I think that Shang-Chi is probably the correct play. I mean, we do have rogues. We have tech. We have morph, so we have gambling. I mean, these are actually... If you can make a case for either one of these cards right now.
For control, really especially.
Because you do have... Hold on. I'm going to make a case for Drax.
Okay.
You have Storm. Drax is an incredible follow-up to Storm, low-key.
You know what? That's the biggest use from him. Is the follow-up on Storm, and we don't have a lot of foreplay. LOL. We don't have a lot of foreplays. So Shang-Chi. But here's the thing, though, with control, right? Like if we win the... What's up, audio listeners? You don't know what kind of podcast you're coming to. If you play the Shang-Chi, when you've controlled one of the locations and you don't have initiative, I think that's pretty huge. Or Spider-Woman, dude. For the giggles, you want to go Drax?
I think Drax is actually the pick.
People never see
we
him.
don't have Jessica Jones. We have nothing to fall off that Storm. Yes, it's Drax.
Let's
We're
do
gonna get value.
it. All right, guys. So there is the deck. Quickly, Mojo, Okoye, Scorpion, Scarlet Witch, Lizard, Morph, Rogue, Storm, Drax, Claw, Captain Marvel, and Giganto. Let's head to the battlefield.
All right, here we go. We've got the deck list ready. We've got it's a card coming out. Oh, it's Wave. We have...
This is starting
Come on,
fast.
Giganto. Draw Giganto, please.
Please
draw Giganto.
Oh, man. That's terrible value. Wow.
Bad.
This is starting out... we just went, like, right into it. No introductions because Sakar just forced us to go right into it. Better than the rogue play we could have had.
Yeah, that could have been horrible.
God, this is not fun. So nothing we can play here. We're gonna go into the next round or in the next turn. And funny enough, if waves pulled by Sakar, it actually is turn 1. That happens.
I did. Yeah, no one can actually do anything.
No one could do anything. It didn't matter what we pulled there. But we got
that's advantages to us. We didn't have a 1.
Yeah, that was actually that we actually did okay there, and we gave negative to at least his first 3 cards, not 4, but that's some good value. Still a 2/5 out of Scorpion. All right. Next up, and Wave sticks around for 2 turns. Hey, you learn something every day. You learn something every day, whether that's intended or not. And also, can we just give some love to the Inkified?
Yeah.
It's a good-looking card. All right. Wow. Our 2-cost loaded deck is getting no value. We have Warrior Falls and some more control, but we pulled Captain Marvel. Alex, what do you like on this turn?
I'm not minding the idea of playing. You could play Lizard on the right. If he contests it, we can storm it to play more value there. I think Lizard on Klein.
Yeah, so I was thinking either storm in the middle and force him to pick between one of the 2 next turn, and we have Captain Marvel. We have Captain Marvel to go to the location we don't choose.
Yeah.
Or we could split our cards up between 2/2 or counteract with Scarlet Witch. So are you good with storm in the middle, or we could do Lizard right?
You know what? Let's storm middle. I like where your head's at.
Okay, we're going to completely control with this deck. He's matching us. He's going Colossus, so he does have number advantage there. But he was hoping that would be beneficial to Warrior Falls. All right, so Flooding and Klein are locations we have to pick between the 2. Alex, should we split up and go Lizard right and like a Coccia or even Scarlet Witch and mix it back up left? Or Lizard middle?
We're playing a really interesting game here. I would suggest going Lizard mid into Scarlet Witch right.
That's what I was thinking too. Because he's going to play, most likely he's going to play right, if I had to take a guess. This will at least seal us there. And then we do have Captain Marvel to fly there if we can't get to it. But we can switch it. That's fine. Let's throw up Scarlet Witch on the right. He's going Bucky Barnes left. Yondu right. Mojo has been destroyed. Okay. Lizard middle. So we have 1 the flooded location in the middle. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, Captain Marvel and Bar Sinister is pretty wild.
What? We just won, dude. There's no way. I mean, that's a huge location favor. Scarlet Witch for the win, man. I think Captain Marvel is no question the play here.
Whoa, hold on though.
Yep.
Would that be a spicier turn 6 play though? Captain Marvel and the Bar Sinister?
And just hope he doesn't have like a Green Goblin to just completely screw us.
That's true.
What if we get Giganto too? I think we play it now.
Okay, you're right.
It's tough. I get where your head's at. I get
Do you snap though?
Oh, dude, I'm snapping. I'll snap. I think this is on my account, and I don't care. I'm gonna snap. Let's do it. Let's pull it. Let's go. I don't have audio on. I just realized. Sorry, guys. Oh, he got out of there. That's our second.
Broke him again.
That's our second forfeit on the snap draft.
Every single time we play these decks, we just break their spirit immediately. We snap and they're just like, nope, I'm out.
Spirit.
Not the snap draft deck.
We're drafting great decks. Now, guys, I know you guys want to see more matches with these decks. Maybe we'll introduce something in the future, Alex. But man, we're 2-0, man. We gotta keep track.
Yeah, we got to keep it up. And one thing I will say is, guys, you can't leave right now because you've got another video to see. It's linked right here. You're going to go see the next video there. It's Cozy's video. We're going to talk about the next 3 topics in our video series for this week. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in that next Snapchat video.
Bye.